Batman Hush 2 has dropped its latest issue, and I really don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. I think that maybe, just maybe, we've lost the plot a little bit, if we ever had it at all. We're going to talk about that. We've got five.
Count them.
But wait, we've got,
Yeah,
is it
six.
five?
Six.
Six.
Six. What am I saying? Five.
Boy, it's a
We've
good thing we
got
counted them.
Yeah, we've got six
Count them.
massive books to talk about. But before we talk about those books, we've got to introduce the pals. Because we've got Cale,
What's up? Hot dogs.
we've got Marco,
Oh, I
and I'm
found it.
Sean. I'm glad you're able to find it, Marco. That's why you're here. And I'm Sean. Thank you guys for being here. Whether you are live with us in the future, and right now, I'm about to ask my two co-hosts to keep this going for about 5 seconds while I grab my comics because I left them on this side of the green screen.
My man does a comic book show. He forgot his comic books. Can you believe that? Oh. Oh, is that what his whole deal is? I didn't know that. That explains so much.
All right, we are in business now. So, we're going to be talking about Batman 160, which if you guys can see that cover and the way Batman looks on there, that's me. That's me when I read this.
That was me today. I had a migraine all day, and I said, you know what, Batman, I feel that.
Yeah, exactly. Batman is a lot of us. I don't know if he's ever been more relatable. But we've got Batman. We're going to be talking Absolute Wonder Woman number 8, Absolute Martian Manhunter number 3, Mr. Terrific Year 1 number 1. We've got Ultimate Spider-Man number 17, and the winner of the poll this week, Giant Size X-Men number 1. So we've got quite a docket this week. Thank you guys for being here. Let's jump right into it.
Didn't
And
sorry,
yeah.
didn't Terrific win the poll?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Terrific won the poll. Yes, absolutely. My bad. Um, so let's jump in and let's talk about Chop Harder Alchemist, who's been a channel member for 5 months, says smash that like button and help pump numbers. Cheers. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, dude. Can we refer to Chop Harder Alchemist as Cha? Can we do that?
As Cha.
Cha?
CHA,
Oh
Chop
yeah,
Harder
sure.
Alchemist.
Oh, wow. Cha.
I'm always abbreviating things in my mind. So I think from now on, at least in my mind, you're going to be Chop Harder.
Good to see you, Cha.
Cha.
Cha, dude.
Cha.
In a,
Bro, Cha.
in a weird way, that kind of makes sense for Chop Harder. I don't know. I don't know why. Um, Madness says, can't believe Marco just said that about Sean. What did you say about me, Marco?
You'll have to listen back, find out.
Apparently, I was muted.
Got the replay.
I will listen. I always listen back, so I will be doing that. But in the meantime, let's jump in and let's talk about Batman number 160. This is written by Jeff Loeb with art by Jim Lee. We've got inks over that Jim Lee art as ever by Scott Williams, colors by Alex Sinclair, letters by Richard Starkings. Now, we were joined in the previous issue by the Red Hood, who is working with Hush, it appears. And so they've got a thing going on. And this issue is largely kind of putting the players into the positions that Jeff Loeb needs them to be in. Batman goes on a little bit of a side mission, gets confronted by that big dude that Hush was running with in the first issue, so he's back in play. The Joker's back in the fray. He's awake. He's got guns. Everybody's got guns. Everybody's shooting everybody, but nobody's actually getting hit by any of these bullets. So I'm a little confused. Oh, and Damian is running around with Bane. Go figure. Cale, can you make any sense of this?
Hell nah. I like the way Jim Lee draws Damien though.
Yeah.
That was good. It's probably the best art in this book, I think, is his Damien work. No, this I mean, this doesn't it just doesn't track even with the stuff that was happening with the Red Hood around the original Hush. Like, this just doesn't I don't know what Jeff is doing here. I don't get it. I can't believe you're telling me Nightwing, Dick Grayson he spent 40 years with Batman and he can't figure out how to solve Batman's the riddles, the Riddler's riddles.
Saying that's a riddle.
Like, I just like the way Jeff is writing these characters and trying to make Batman the one that comes out on top. It just doesn't make sense. Every one of these characters feels like they're dumb at the expense of Batman. And it's I don't want to sit here and say character assassination, but I don't feel far from that. I'm not having a good time with this.
I from page 1, maybe like the dialogue's off. Like things feel so janky. They feel very it doesn't seem like there's like a through line for the conversations that happen, for the things that are happening, and it's clunky. The first instance is that moment where Red Hood has his gun out and Hush just flings the knife over, and we get like an explanation for why we got the knife flung at him. Like, take your best shot if you want to lose your hand when that pistol backfires and explodes. Like, what? Like, kind of 70s ass writing is this shit? Like, yeah, bro, we saw you do it. Cool.
Marco, the audience says you're extremely quiet. Cole says you're quiet.
Let me fix that.
Maybe it's just him. I don't know. But continue.
It just doesn't feel fun. I'm not having fun with this.
You know, I had fun with this for the first 2 issues. And this one just didn't make sense. And it's not like the other ones made all the sense in the world. It's not like they were the most sensible books I've ever read. But I found them to be fun. I don't know. I found them to be fun. I'm still enjoying Jim Lee's art tremendously. It's a joy to see his work again. And I love just about every page and what he does on them. But it just feels like nonsense. It really does. It just reads like nonsense. It's like the barest of minimum reason to get these characters in the same room dealing with this bullshit and that's it. Like, why are Damien and Bane working together after Bane killed Alfred, which is something Damien would never ever ever do? I don't know.
And dragging him around like a dog. Like, he literally says sick him Bane. Like,
In what world is that Bane? Like, like is this Batman? What was that? Batman Forever, where
the
Bane
Batman
is
and Robin. Yeah.
Batman and Robin. Like, is that the Bane we're dealing with? Because the last time I saw Bane, nobody was sicking him on anybody. This shit is weird.
Another thing that bugged me is the secretary turned superpowered assassin.
Oh, it's weird.
Like, Batman comes in the building, and the secretary is working, late night in a high rise, and he goes, "Wait a second, I don't know who this is." And it's like, 1, where are you? 2, why would you? And like,
Well,
I just like what is Jeff doing? Jeff, what are you doing?
she works for Wayne Industries, which, all right, fine. I have a hard time believing that Batman doesn't know every single person who works in his company for this exact reason.
And there's also like precedent of him using like his heads up display or whatever as like a quick, you know, identify these people and identify their weaknesses. He does it the first page of the first Hush. So like if he's having this uh inner dilemma about who she is and why don't we see that there so that we know what's going on?
Because they don't want us to know what's going on.
He
Ch-
doesn't know what's going on.
Chat says that Bane and Batman or Bane and Damian they reconciled at some point in Williamson's run. So okay, fair play on that. I can't criticize Jeff Loeb for something that was established. It feels weird as fuck, but okay.
I can. He's not responding to anything else that's happened in the past 30 years. Why that?
It's very bizarre, and the way that Bane appears there is very bizarre. Like he's under the thrall of Damian Wayne or something. Like that's just it. Like that. Why? That's just weird.
I'm starting to lose the like point of what we're trying to get at here. Like this is issue 3 of this arc, and I jumped back in going, what are we doing here again? Who what is important to Batman in this moment? And I don't recall, for the life of me. I don't recall.
Um, Hush is back, and he's up to his old shenanigans, and I guess Red Hood is mad because he's still mad that Bruce didn't kill the Joker. But I don't know if we really know what the exact game plan is.
So a couple of people in the chat have pointed out that the Red Hood's deal is that his brain is deteriorating from damage that the Lazarus Pit couldn't fix. And that's from MP and someone else said that earlier. I apologize. Uh, but it's been Jason Todd has been back for how long? Wouldn't a better excuse to use be the lobotomy that Bruce just gave him in the last arc?
Yeah, but that would require Jeff Loeb to have read the last arc or for an editor to inform him about what happened in the last arc.
Like that's like I that's the Hood's thing there is actually pretty good. And he would actually be mad at Bruce for giving him a lobotomy. It's right there.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. This is look, I said last time I'm having fun with this. The art is really great. It's really, really awesome. I love seeing Jim Lee's work. I wish that he was being given something like more substantial to do because as cool as all of this looks, there's like I'm not all the way clued in on why any of it is happening. And like forget continuity because Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee clearly don't really know what's going on. But like even within the story itself, it's just like what the fuck? Can we explain one thing? Can one thing just be clearly solid and make sense?
Honestly, on the art front, I don't know if I'm digging it all that much. Um,
Oh,
there's a moment where Batman is going up he's like scaling the wall, and the footing feels weird. Like we lose his right foot, his left foot is like kind of dragging. Like if the body position, I can't tell if he's supposed to scale or he's being pulled up. There's another instance of that with Nightwing. Yeah, yeah. They're like little things that I feel like another Jim Lee would not have done.
I also feel like some of his yeah, wow. I also feel like some of his facial work, especially on like Nightwing and Jason in their little tussle, it just didn't look very good. Their chins were huge. Um, it just like they just it just didn't look like him. It just didn't look right.
You know what it is? He needed more time. He needed more time to get this done. Apparently, a year lead in is not enough time to have drawn three issues.
Sean, can you turn to the page where it goes like "You will fall," and
Yeah.
not on that, but the last panel of that page. This little fucking micro whatever like stabby thing. But then if you turn the page, uh, look at this movement. My man Batman is doing some aerobics to like punch up. Like the form feels different. Not enough time. I can feel that. Like that's not like the moment to accentuate. I guess in my mind.
I don't know, man. There's a lot wrong with this book. I agree that not all the artwork looks fantastic, but then you get to a page like this one, and it's like, man, that looks awesome. It's Hush, holding a blade to Damien's throat, and like that looks like that's really great. That's Jim Lee. But there are a couple of other pages where it's like, that's not as great. So I don't understand how much lead time Jim Lee needs in his life now to deliver the best of the best. But I do think we've been getting that, and I'm not all the way sure what happened throughout some of these pages. Whew, I don't know.
Pete Collins says it feels like he's trying hard to be Jim Lee. If that makes any sense, I get that.
It does. It does. Um, I didn't expect a whole lot from this, but this is not what I was hoping for. What I was hoping for was something that would at least be fun and thrilling, and the first two issues delivered enough of that for me. Um, but this isn't that. This issue isn't even that. For me, this issue was more frustrating than anything because I'm just not all the way sure what's going on. Characters are popping in from nowhere, without even really understanding like what they're doing or why they're doing it. And I almost kind of want off this ride. Like I'm not. This isn't fun right now.
Yep, I do want off the ride. I could very happily drop this and be done with it.
Kinda, yeah.
Pass for me.
Pass.
Yeah. Easy pass, easy pass, and I don't want to pass because I really like the last two, and I have a feeling that we'll get something better out of this, at least from my sensibility. But this issue was just not it at all. And it looks like the audience largely agrees. So every issue
Wow.
of a comic we review, there's a poll that goes up, and you guys can vote in it here on the stream. So 43% of you said pass, 36 said pull. The other big number, didn't buy or read is 20%. Nobody chose it as their pick of the week. Good to know you guys are sane.
MP says, honestly, for such a mediocre volume of Batman, including King, Tynion, and Zdarsky's runs, Hush Tua is a fitting finale before a renumbering. Ouch.
I don't disagree with you, MP. I don't disagree at all. Hey, what's up, World at War Comics? Good to see you hanging out with us, dude. He's got a great channel himself. Always gets really good interviews. He says art needs to be done consistently. Even Jim can lose a little bit after a long time off. George Jimenez and Dan Mora are the best at DC. Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
I definitely agree with the sentiment that, it's hard to jump back into this thing. Um, but this is the big leagues. And the last two issues to me looked really good. And there are pages of this that look really good. So, and he's had a very long time. He's known that this project was happening for over a year. So I'm down to give the man grace, but I do think we can have an expectation level as well. Hayden's Hideout says, I have a feeling Hush 2 will be forgotten years down the line with the odd trivia question, quote, did you know Loeb and Lee did a Batman Hush sequel? The
I don't even think it'll take years down the line.
the magic of Hush 1 isn't here. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue that Hush 1 is some masterful story, right? I think the mastery is in the way that it is so accessible and so fun to read, even if it's not like reinventing the wheel for Batman. The problem with this is that it's not even as good as that was. It's not as fun as that was. It doesn't keep you on your toes in the same way. We already know who Hush is, right? So what's the big mystery? Oh man. Um, yeah, I don't know, guys. This is not it. And Roboters said, I think overall Jim Lee is getting back in his groove. How long has it been since Jim Lee was doing monthly interiors? Also, this feels more like Loeb and Lee keeping everyone guessing. I get that, but like, do you care what the answer is? I don't.
I don't even know what the question is. He's not even in this book. She's not even in this book.
Yeah, I don't know what the I don't know what the question is. I don't know what's compelling about it. Like I had a theory that maybe the person under the bandaging wasn't actually Tommy Elliott, and that could be really compelling. Like, what if we are reading this assuming it's Tommy Elliott who's Hush and it's not him? But it seems like it is. So
Yeah, that also begs the question, well, then who could it be? Like, when you run down like the list of suspects, like with the information we have, right? They spent a lot of time talking about uh, Thomas Wayne's love for Damascus steel or whatever. Well, who would know about that other than Thomas Wayne? And we just killed that guy not that long ago.
Uh, it wouldn't be interesting if it was someone else. Like, it's not what we're sold on.
I guess, but at least there would be some like you've read the original Hush, right, Marco? All right.
Yeah.
So not knowing the identity of Hush was a part of it, but it wasn't the whole of it because if you read the story, it was pretty clear they're introducing the backstory of Tommy Elliott at the same time they're introducing a new hero or new villain, like we can all add. What was compelling about it wasn't just that question, it was all the other questions that surrounded it. Like, oh, is the Red Hood or is the Red Hood really back? Like there were other things that were interesting, like Poison Ivy's involvement was really interesting. There none of that is present, I feel like. The intrigue.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Like, I think this is the first time we got the flashbacks in any meaningful way. Um, and they're like, it doesn't even feel like it's used very well.
Nah.
They're not. I mean, you can't. I mean, you're already familiar with who this character is. Well, if you've read it, right? But this still doesn't do much to establish Tommy and Bruce's relationship. They're just like, oh yeah, he's my buddy. What about that?
Yeah. Well, Matt Fisher's checking in with us. Thank you, Matt Fisher, for the 4.99. He says, hello, Bart. Who's Bart? Oh, who's Bart? Me? I don't know. H2 is just a bad idea from the inception, just like Escape from LA. Okay. He follows up with another 199 and says it's obviously the Penny Plunderer. Who's that? Probably some
I
random obscure Batman villain.
yeah, I can't imagine it's anybody actually, but my vision is someone trying to steal the giant penny from the Batcave.
That would be a very fun annual. I don't want anything else. I don't want the identity of the Batman, nothing like that. I just want that penny.
Yep.
Um, Matt or not Matt Fisher. C.W. Gordon says those mysteries played with the then current continuity, like Jason being dead. The sequel is just a mess, which doesn't care for anything around it. And I think that's a good point. The first was very much entrenched in what was current continuity at that time. So you could
Yep.
be on the hook for the mysteries because they affected what was happening in the books that you were reading. It was important. This doesn't feel attached to current continuity. It feels like it could have happened right after the original Hush.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that you know what that is probably what's missing is because there are no current mysteries in the Batman universe.
Yeah.
No one has left anything for anyone else except I don't know, the Court of Owls, I guess.
And I suppose there was no interest in on Jeff's part in having Chip set up anything or leave any trails or breadcrumbs for him to utilize in this run. It just doesn't feel special,
Yeah, the only one is a big uh beefy Riddler.
which I couldn't give a fuck about.
Where my man went to the gym.
They did say they were going to explain the Riddler's appearance, but is that like, am I supposed to care about that?
Why would you?
I don't. Yeah, he got jacked. He got jacked, and he got a weird tattoo. Wow, as if we all haven't known someone who's done that after a little bit of coke. Like that's what happens. I'm sure. Come on. Lucas Hallner with the wow 6 months membership. Lucas, that's awesome, dude. Has it really been 6 months? It's weird because I feel like you've been here for so long, and then I see it's been 6 months, and I'm like, wow, that doesn't feel right. It feels like way longer. But he says, yeah, I'm pulling for the art and collecting, but this plot might be worse than 8 deaths. Oh, it totally is worse. Totally.
Yeah, at least 8 deaths had cool monsters, right? Like,
And 8 deaths had an emotional journey for Peter. Like I don't think it was good, but there were good things in it. Right now, from a storytelling standpoint, I cannot tell you anything good about this series.
yep.
I can tell you I like looking at it, but nothing good from a story standpoint.
And like we knew what the plot was from number one.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
exactly.
it's still that plot from issue number one. Like, there is no forward momentum here.
No, I'm saying with 8 deaths. We knew what
Oh,
those 8 issues were gonna be.
gotcha.
Where with this, we still don't know what the plot is.
Yeah. MP says, to be fair, current Batman continuity kind of sucks and isn't very accessible. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. But it is what we have, and I wouldn't say that this approach is better than not referencing current continuity. And it picks and chooses when it does, right? Because you guys put me on and said that Damian and Bane had reconnected, or not, they were never connected, but like, Damian has moved on from what Bane did. Okay, fair point. So we're acknowledging that having happened, but we can't acknowledge what happened in Chip Zdarsky's run. I
Entertain
love
Me
it.
says they explain that the outfit the Riddler's wearing makes him look muscular. It's a muscle suit. So now you're also telling me that this beefy Riddler we have to deal with isn't even the only hanging thread we had to deal with from Zdarsky's run.
Oh my God, a muscle suit? That's so lame. But okay. Um, fair enough. We will certainly continue to review this book. And I mean, it definitely appears like there are members of our chat who are having fun with it, and hats off to you. I was with you until this issue, so hopefully I can get back on the train with the next one.
I don't know. It's an overwhelming pass and didn't buy ratio.
Yeah, I just some people in chat are going to bat for it. So,
Yeah.
Hayden's Hideout with the $10. Gooner pick of the week. Batman Hush number 160 by Natalie Sanders variant. This feels heavily inspired by the iconic Mary Jane in a Spider-Man t-shirt cover. Well, Hayden's Hideout, that is one of my favorite covers of all time. So excuse me if I don't mosey my way over to leagueofcomicgeeks.com and have a look-see.
Keen
Holy
to
You
see.
know,
shit.
you know what? That's pretty good.
Yep. That's my Gooner pick of the week. You got me, Hayden. You got me. Thank you. Um, Clayton Bergstrom says, "Love y'all, but it breaks my heart that we're going to talk about Ultimate Green Goblin, Ultimate Spider-Man, but not, but not Assorted Crisis Events number 3. Dude, it breaks my heart too. I'm sorry.
Oh, so you're going Ace. What is Ace? And it's number 3. How do I not know about this?
Try to think about that.
I'm sorry, dude. I mean, we almost reviewed Assorted Crisis Events, and truth be told, we do have to have a conversation as a community. Okay, we have to have a conversation because as much as I love these Ultimate books and I love these Absolute books, I'm getting tired of the entire docket being taken up by Ultimate and Absolute books.
Yep.
Even me.
Slow down there. We got some bangers this week.
I'm not saying no. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying that like it feels like we only get to talk about that stuff.
Hmm.
And I do want to talk about like High Street came out this week. You know, Assorted Crisis. Like it's only these books. So tell me what we're cutting. Tell me because like I look at it and I'm like, what are we going to cut? Absolute Wonder Woman? No,
Nope.
right? We're not going to cut the Manhunter. Book's fire. So we need
Flash.
to
Flash and Green Lantern just got started.
Damn it.
exactly
And then we have the Ultimates. And then
right.
I'm told we can't cut Ultimate Spider-Man.
I'm being told.
No,
Someone off to the side saying no, actually.
There's a gun over here that tells me.
it's tough. So we got to have a hard conversation, guys, about what we do. Cole says not opposed to doing more books, but spending less time on each. See, that's the problem is that we are limited by time. Not the time to do the show, but the time to review the books or the time to read the books in order to come and review them. We do this the day after. We've got to read a bare minimum of 6 comics. That's not an easy feat.
Yep.
He says it's your show, bro. It is, but it's not, right? Like, yeah, it's our show, but like we want you guys to come. And we know that you want to hear us talk about certain things. So it becomes, a little bit tough, which is why it's a community conversation.
Can always pick the indies.
Right.
We didn't. We're straight. This was 4 DC books and 2 Marvel books this week.
Yep. We're playing in those sandboxes.
We couldn't even get the good indie books on the poll.
Roger Hernandez says we could have easily skipped giant size X-Men. I mean, yes, right. In a way, we'll talk about the book later. But then we're not tapped into the conversation about that event that's going on.
Quite the event.
And then y'all be mad at us for that.
Luna says we need a book to trash each month. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. Matt Fisher with a 4.99. Sean, you can't ask us what you should review and then get mad when we tell you. When did I get mad? I didn't get mad. Tell me. Tell me what we should review. I didn't say anything.
I'll get mad.
Tell me what we should review, please.
Not a sort of crisis events.
Dude, it's fire. It's fire.
Banksy says they're mad that Daredevil lost the poll. Hey, I read Daredevil. I'm also mad that it lost the poll.
I read it too, and I consider myself among you. That book is flames. And
Yep.
thank you to the over 100 of you that are here to listen to us yap about comics. Appreciate you showing up. Smash the like button if you enjoy what we do. We've got a lot more books to review here. I do want to refer to a couple of more comments before we move forward. Clayton Bergstrom says, either way, I'm sure we are going to enjoy listening to your guys' takes. This week was also crazy stacked. Clayton, it's good. It's good to see you engaging and interacting. Thank you for that. Yeah, this week was bonkers, man, bonkers. I looked at my fucking pull list this week and I said, not my real. I don't have a pull list, but like the books that I knew I was gonna get, and I was like, yo. And then I saw the number ring up. I was like, oh, come on, man. I gotta cut some more books.
He said the number came and said, "Ah, it's one of those weeks, huh? Eating a
Yeah.
little less meat this week."
Yep. Those days you gotta skip out on certain meals. Uh, well, look, Saturday is episode 450 of the main show. I I'm not like Marvel, right? I'm not one to celebrate the 50s. We celebrate the more of the bigger milestone numbers. But I have it on good authority that there may be something happening on Saturday that could be very fun in association with us hitting that number.
I'm told that this fun thing, we may even have a name for it. It could be called Pal's Paws. We might have to talk about that. I
Oh,
think that's a pretty good title.
I agree.
But hopefully y'all that have been with us for a long time will really enjoy it. Hopefully it'll pay off. Hopefully it'll be worth 450. At least, that a nice halfway game.
Hell yeah. And on top of that, we're going to be talking about the big news that dropped this week. For those of you who are curious, our thoughts about the Marvel DC crossover and the news that was announced surrounding that. We will be diving into that on Saturday as well. I'm very excited to talk about that. I have been chomping at the bit to engage in conversation about that over on Discord, but I am holding myself back to save it for the show.
Now, Pete
Can't wait.
Collins brings up an interesting question. It's one I had to deal with today with Dr. Hot Dog. Is it Pal's Paws or Pal's Paws?
Well, it's Pal's Paws.
So I said, so I call this game Pal's Paws, and Dr. Hot Dog went, "Oh, cool. What a fun idea." And I went, "Oh, great. She understands it." And she went, "Everybody can get their pets and they can, put up their paws and the people in the Discord can get involved." And I went, "Hold on."
Pause.
Nice, Marco. So yeah, tune in Saturday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern for that. It's going to be a very fun episode. I put my promise on that. Matt Fisher with a 4.99. For a Marvel channel, you guys review a lot of indies. Well, even though there are no indies on the docket this week, we review more indies than some other channels do. We try to get to them when we can, but that's why I was ranting about all these Ultimate and Absolute books taking up slots that could go to.
Dan slots.
That's coming up in a couple of weeks. Superman issue 2. Hayden's Hideout with the $10. Heading to Texas tonight for Fan
Flex.
Expo Dallas this weekend. I plan to catch up on some reading and Doctor Who on the road trip. What is your go-to distraction while traveling?
It depends on whether you're driving or not.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to be the driver, so it's podcasts for me, or if I'm driving, that tends to be some of the only times that I will listen to a full album, as opposed to like a playlist.
Yeah, an album is an album start to finish, like and you can
Yep.
even have some queued back to back. The same
Yeah,
artist or
yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But if you're a
Tra
passenger, go pick up a comic.
Traveling for me, whether it's like on a plane or a train, typically tends to involve reading. So I love to read novels, so I'll probably have a novel with me, maybe a comic, and some music. Music and reading go hand in hand for me. Thanks for the super chat, Hayden and Matt Fisher. Appreciate you guys. Let's roll right along. Let's talk about Absolute Martian Manhunter #3. This is written by Dennis Camp, who just cannot stop delivering bangers. It's like it's in this guy's DNA. Javier Rodriguez is another one who is doing some career best work on this series. Hassan Atsman Al Hal, I would say the same, but quite frankly, he is always at tip top shape. He can do no wrong. Each issue so far has felt like a sort of a siloed story, an investigation that John has to deal with, some type of crime that's going on or something like that. But there is also the thematic and overarching story of the White Martian and the fact that the White Martian, which appears to just represent like just the evil that men do, so to speak, personified and as a white Martian, is coming and is going to be causing a lot of chaos here on Earth. And John and his Martian friend are the only thing standing in the way of that. It has nothing to do with the absolute universe at all, but that's totally okay because this book remains phenomenal. Marco, do you agree?
Yeah, I have so much fun with this book. The art in particular always stands out, and the colors just give it this like 60s pop and flair. It's very pop art because of how bright it is, and I'm really enjoying how we're sitting here with each moment of like presumed derangement, because uh, we don't know if he feels like he's uh, going crazy. Obviously, he's not. He's being invaded, right? But for him, he's trying to live with this and come to terms with this Martian, this abstraction and concept, and it's guiding him and pulling him in different ways. Um, he's speaking in like trying to adapt to our language, and so um, all of this so that we can get to the end of trying to defeat this other entity. Yeah, man, blast.
It feels like this issue really starts things. Like now, this is the meat of it. You know, the first issue was like, oh, here's this weird concept. This thing happened to this guy, and now he's going through something weird. And the second one was like, okay, now we're kind of figuring out how this whole thing is going to work. And now issue 3 is okay. Now we're moving. Now we're cooking. They're solving crimes together. They're speaking to each other. They're uh, making this happen. And it feels good. The way they talk to each other, the way they communicate to each other, the way they just work together. I think it's just it's fascinating and it's unique. Because it feels like the Martian is a massive imaginary friend. But he's doing things that I don't think you would normally see an imaginary friend do. Um, and just the man, Rodriguez, the way the art uses the colors to like. I'm looking at the page where they crash through the window of the burning building, and then the Martian rips the colors in half. And just like it's so evocative of what all of that is. And Sean mentioned it's the evil that men do or whatever. It's just it's so visceral but colorful at the same time. It's just so good.
Yeah, this is my pick of the week. This book is crazy. Like it's so unbelievably good, and I can feel it. Like
Yeah.
I can feel this book. I can feel what Dennis Camp is trying to do and say. And I just love it. I love looking at it. The like the combination of the colors, the vibrancy of it mixed with the reality of it. Like there's the very real thing that is happening. And then there's this crazy color intervention that just doesn't like it doesn't those are not the colors that belong there, but they are there. And I love the way that this is being shown. Like it's so perfectly appropriate. It's this invasion. Like look at this page. Like it's a very normal thing that's happening. John is jumping through a window, whatever. But then there's this crazy color pattern there that doesn't belong. And it's an invasion. It's an alien invasion. And it's just so brilliant. I love the white Martian thing that's hanging in the background of this. I have no idea where that's gonna go, but it's also interesting. And rooting all of this, right, is when John goes home and he is alienated in his own home. He's alienated from his wife. He's alienated from his kid. It's his own doing. He made his life like this. But it's an alienation that he has chosen, an isolation from the real world around him. Um, Not because he wants a relationship with this Martian, but that's just already what he was doing. Brilliant book.
It's all such a fascinating mix of real and not real all at the same time.
Yeah. I want to address this comment real quick. Parker Luck, what's that? Matt Bird says, I am surprised that you guys aren't going to cover the passing of Peter David. I've seen at least two Spider-Man YouTube channels talk about his passing and his great writing he did from 1985. Parker Luck, Matt Bird, dude, I don't appreciate this comment at all. You don't know that we're not covering Peter David's passing. We are absolutely talking about Peter David's passing on Saturday. If you're new here, that's acceptable, but I've seen your name before. We this particular show is focused purely on the comics. Everything else we talk about on Saturday. Um, I think it's unfair of you to say that without knowing what our plans are or what we're doing. Peter David's passing is very important to me, so I resent that comment. That's not fair. Um, but what is fair is to say that this issue of Absolute Martian Manhunter is genius, and this dude Dennis Camp cannot miss.
Yeah, pick of the week.
Yeah, same.
Crazy good, unbelievable.
And it's one of those books that, like, I don't feel like I know where it's going, and I like that I'm kind of on edge for that. Like, what is the mystery next? What is the thing to solve? Because presumably this white Martian is just spreading evil out, and so we're reacting to that. But so are we. And not only are we reacting to that, but we're reacting to that and being distracted by all the other things that are happening in his life. Good shit.
Exactly. That's exact. Like I love the fact that it's rooted still in this guy's got he has a life. He has a real life. Look at how far away he's sitting from his wife on that couch and the
Mm-hmm.
Martians in between them. That's very real and relatable to so many people.
Yeah, he feels like an alien in his own home.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the smoke in the back. There's just doubts, man.
Yeah.
And they're blank. They're all white.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, this is a great comic book. Um, Chat, the voters, the voting has closed. You guys went 56% pull. Pick of the week is 26%. Didn't buy or read is 12%. Pass is 4%. I would love to know why we're passing.
Oh yeah, wow.
I get it though, not everything's for everybody. So fair enough. But um I can see the trade of this coming out and really catching fire.
Yeah, that's secondary market.
Yep.
Roger Hernandez, peak of the week.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Nice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, yeah, Roboter says strong pull. It's great for those that have it as pick of the week. It's also a great side book to where you don't need to read the rest of the absolute line to inform it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even need to know that there isn't that there are other books, quite frankly, in the absolute line.
This could just be a cool adjective in front of Martian Manhunter.
Yeah,
Oh, I guess he's absolute now. Sweet.
sounds good.
But I like that. I like that there's like not necessarily
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
interconnectivity. It keeps it fresh.
I mean, the all the absolute books are siloed, but I think if this one had to do any involvement with anything else, it would suffer the most from that. So I'm with you. I'm glad that they're giving Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez the space to just tell their story and not worry about anything else. And like maybe down the road there's some connection.
Yeah.
But my suspicion is that whatever it is, it won't detract from what Dennis Camp wants to do with this.
Mm.
I wonder if we'll see something like when the Martian and John actually like merge, when they're actually like one functional being. Um, and then that could be the end of this series. It is limited, isn't it? Somehow.
Yeah, it was initially solicited for 6, but it got bumped up to 12.
Oh
So
shit!
after 12 issues or whatever, maybe that's when we see the push to the Manhunter joins the league or whatever.
Yeah, but I love that we don't have to sit in dread about it.
Yeah,
We can just enjoy what's happening. Wow, we've got over 120 of you with us. That's a beautiful thing to see for a pals pulls at that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's shift gears and talk about Absolute Wonder Woman. So not leaving the absolute space. Absolute Wonder Woman is written by Kelly Thompson with art by returning regular series artist Hayden Sherman. They did take a couple of issues off to catch up and retool, but they're back now. And Jordi Belair is on colors with Becca Carey on the letters. Now, if you look at the cover, you will see that Wonder Woman is entering what appears to be a labyrinth, and we were teased that there would be a labyrinth in this particular arc. And so I was really excited for that. I love a labyrinth. I love a labyrinth story. And I know that that is all coming. There's even a tease of a future issue that's got a Minotaur on the cover. So like that's definitely happening. But this issue has nothing to do with any of that. This issue introduces us to, or reintroduces us to, whatever, Veronica Cale, who works for the government. She's got some pet project going on with Dr. Poison, who, if I remember correctly, is a regular Wonder Woman villain.
sounds like one.
Yeah, I think she was in the first Wonder Woman movie, if I'm not mistaken. But a lot of this is Wonder Woman talking with her human allies, and she's got a mission, she's got an agenda, but she is spending some time with her human allies. Then, yet again, there is some kind of freaky shit that happens that Wonder Woman has to handle in order to save, the regular humans from these little robotic machinations. And now she encounters Dr. Poison, and that's the issue. Cale, was this a good return for Hayden Sherman?
I thought this was great. I even considered this as my pick of the week. And then I started talking about how good Martian Manhunter was, and that sold it. But I really thought this was great. It was great to see Hayden's art. The double page spread that is like, I guess Wonder Woman grows like a home base on like her forest land or something. I think that's what's going to be the labyrinth, and I think that's what the that spread represented was the that labyrinth growing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and her friends are gonna get lost in it. Um, but yeah, I thought this was a lot of fun. It showed, you know, Veronica Cale and that whole thing. It showed that the city isn't just full of nameless, faceless people. Like there is actually stuff going on. Um, and you know, we got more time with her allies, and I thought this was great. I thought this was I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I'll second that. It, I think it's still taking a beat. Like it feels like Kelly's taking her time to get to these places. We're not meandering, but we are establishing more of the world and establishing more of um, the players that are involved. And I liked the Doctor Poison, the aesthetic,
Yeah.
the the potential for like mad scientists, and just in her creation seems like mad scientists went too far inherently. That's a great trope,
Mm.
and I'm curious to see how that's going to play into this Minotaur story, because that's where it's gonna play out presumably. And then Aiden on art, yeah, done deal, so good.
Yeah, for me, this was on the weaker side. I like the Dr. Poison stuff. I'm very interested in that. And I think this series needed an antagonist. So Veronica Cale in that position makes sense, and I'm glad we got her involvement. I just, for some reason, every time that we spend time with Wonder Woman's supporting cast, I find myself a little frustrated. Like I don't care about these people. Um, and it reminds me a lot of what's happening in Absolute Batman, which is just like, all right, you know everybody right out the gate. And so that's kind of frustrating me too. Um, and again, by the end, it's like, all right, she's dealing with these little robot things, and it reminds me a lot of what she was doing in the first arc. And I just feel like we haven't made a ton of progress yet, and I want more. I just really want more. I want more movement.
Her her,
Um,
her supporting cast feels like they're like companion NPCs. You know, like
yeah,
they kind of
Mm.
like they're there but not as involved.
yeah.
And I think agreed on the the stakes for this issue, like the whatever the little spider bots are. It was okay. She beat the Tetracide, right? Like this is of course going to be no threat to her. So like when she's like, "Oh my god, there's so many of them," and getting overwhelmed, I'm like, "Girl, didn't you just beat like a kaiju?" Like, yeah. So, I feel that for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. As far as her supporting cast, like I think there is interesting conflict there with what is it, Barbara?
Yeah.
You know, who's clearly being built up to or well, I guess maybe not clearly. This is the absolute universe, right? Um, but you know, we know that person is the cheetah in our world, and she wants to get close to Diana, but Diana isn't letting that happen. So I think there is agency and an inherent conflict there that Steve Trevor is holding back, and you know, that worked for me. I think it's frankly, it's more time with her cast that we don't get in mainline. Like we don't get the like we get Cheetah, but what's the most we get from Cheetah? You know, we kind of know who Steve Trevor is recently.
He also dead.
He also dead. So I don't know. It works for me, you know. And then the as far as the pace of this, you know, it's the opening issue of the arc. So
I mean, yeah, I've been frustrated with the pace for a while of this series. I like the last two issues because I just thought like I like that there was a villain. I thought Hades was a good sort of antagonist, and I like the flashback sequences and the story that was being told there. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. I like Hayden Sherman's art. Hayden did a great job. They're definitely not my issue with this series. There's just something really special about the way that they draw up these layouts. I cannot wait to see Hayden's take on a labyrinth. That's going to be insane.
Yeah. Yeah. I really think this, like, I even got lost in this maze spread. I'm looking at it now. Like, it's tough to decipher and it's tough to, figure out what happens when. And, um, I think it's going to rule.
Yeah. I'm gonna say pull. It's not a strong pull for me, but it's definitely a pull.
This is an easy
I,
one. Similar to Cale, this would have been pick of the week, a different week, because it feels like it's building. It will be building.
yeah, I enjoyed this a lot. And I think, we can only go up from here. So, yay, Kelly Thompson.
Luna says they're setting up a Diana and Barbara romance, I hope. I don't know if it
Cool.
feels like romance. It feels like like I don't know if obsession is the right word or there's something there with Barbara, but it doesn't feel like good.
Yeah.
It feels like competition, like like friendly competition, like a rival. You know, she's red or something or blue.
Yeah. CW Gordon said, I need Steve to become Cheetah. I'm with that. I think that'd be cool.
That'd be wild. I'd be down.
I can't even conceive of that. Um,
Cheetah Man? Not that hard.
Cheetah Man.
yeah. Let me close the poll first. Poll 71%. Pick of the week 14%. Didn't buy or read is 14%, and pass is 0%.
Yeah,
Okay.
hell yeah.
Damn right.
It's 85% positive. That
Yeah.
rules.
Very good. Very good.
Wow. Wow. Solid stuff.
Let's get into Mr. Terrific, the winner of the poll this week. You guys can vote in the poll every week over on the post tab on our channel. We've got a poll up running for you right now. If you want to cast your vote, we need you to do it every single week. It really helps us out. And it helps determine, like, it gives you guys some ownership and some power, so to speak, over what we talk about over here. So you guys have the options of JSA number eight, Resurrection Man, Quantum Karma number three, Marvel Knights, The World to Come number one, and Ultimate Wolverine number six. Marvel Knights is winning the poll. It's got 11% more votes than next up, which is Resurrection Man. I'm really excited about that Marvel Knights book.
I got to point out that JSA number 8 is our boy Gavin Guidry.
Ooh.
And he has repeatedly stated that this has been career defining work for him. So I'm pumped for this. I'm gonna go out and get there's a special Wildcat cover that
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna go get.
Hell yeah. Uh, this Marvel Knights one, I remember being something of interest, like that opening, that like big splash page, um, of just T'Challa kind of in the throne. It was intriguing off the bat. So, if it wins, cool. But Man, Quantum Karma. Where my people at?
And that's a DC book, so you would think.
Are the Marvel podcast?
Hold just went up. So
True. 2 hours ago, and I just voted. So
So, Mr. Terrific, written by Al Letson with art by Valentin Delandro, Edward Galban for the first couple of pages, colors by Marisa Luis, and letters by Lucas Catoni. Now, when you open this book and you read through the first 3 pages and you see, this artwork that Edwin Galman did, you're like, whoa, holy shit, they really went and did that thing for Mr. Terrific. And then you get to page 4 or whatever, and it's Valentin Delandro, who was super, super, super duper talented, but not the same kind of artist at all as Edward Galman. That was the first kind of like, uh, whoa, kind of weird moment in the book. But when you get past that, it's really a story about Mr. Terrific's grief surrounding the death of his wife and daughter, and his brother kind of trying to get him out of that funk, to use his intellect for good, to, either get his company back or prove that the company he used to own is being run into the ground and being used for evil, and whether or not Mr. Terrific is going to get involved. And so, of course, by the end of the issue, something happens that does get him involved, and we kind of know the way forward for this series now. Cale, how are you feeling about this debut issue?
I could take or leave this. Um, I just like I'm already coming at it on sort of a downswing because I just don't care that much about Mr. Terrific. Um, the story itself is fine. It feels like stuff we have seen before. But the when it gets to uh the bits where the team is breaking into the terrific compound or whatever to uh uh steal the engine and turn off the engine. That was cool. That was interesting. The use of colors there. Who did colors on this? Was this Jordi Belair?
This was Marisa Luis.
Marisa Luis. So I started to read this. I said it earlier. I had a migraine today, so I had to read most of my stuff in black and white. Uh, I happened to turn it off just long enough to see the bright pinks in the middle of this, and that caught me very off guard. It also hurt my head. But that was a really cool uh, addition into the artwork that it really felt like it needed it. Everything else is kind of just like is sort of muted and downplayed colors, I think. But the bright pinks and yellows that come out of the engine thing here was really really cool, and it was an interesting way to show this effect. Um, we'll see. We'll see where everything else goes, but this isn't one that I care to stick with.
I thought this was really interesting. I I've always only ever come in to Mr. Terrific with he's in a position of like power. He comes in from this place of knowledge of authority. He's always in that like when you call him in and he's here to get shit done. So to see him in a place where he's real down low, he's struggling to get out of bed. It was a different take from what I've read, and so I like the framing. Um, I like the way that it set him up to be this like, oh, he's this huge player in the world, but now look where he is, like or where he was, I guess. And Um, and then his conversation with his brother, I thought was really good. I felt like I felt the the love, like he's ragging on him, you know, he's teasing, they're poking fun. It feels familiar, and I liked that. And then he finally gets to a point where he's just like, look, I'm tired of this, dude. I can see so much in you, and you're not living up to that. Um, and then there's a part where he goes to the grave, and he's just like, I think I messed up, babe. I felt that. I'm like, oh shit, okay. Like he's going through it. So I thought this was a strong issue, and I think the cliffhanger, because of the way that the book opened, um, I think it landed. So I'm excited to go into the next issue on this one.
I came into this with very low expectations, and it's not, it's better than I thought it would be, but I don't know if I cared. And I think that's sort of the problem. I don't think there was anything done here that was like bad or didn't work or play. I'm interested in Mr. Terrific, but I don't know. Like I really like the way that his mind works, and I thought we would get to see an exploration of that and kind of dig into like, you know, what makes him tick and things like that. And I just found that I didn't really care too much about the sort of conflict here. Um, I like the brother, and I like their relationship, and I think that's all good. But by the end of this, I was like, you know what? I don't actually care what's going to happen next. And that's the worst thing I could say about a comic. It's not bad. There's nothing wrong with this book. I just didn't care. I've never read anything by Al Letson before, so I'm not sure what his chops are, but I thought this was a solid script for the most part.
Yeah, there, like you say, there's nothing egregious about it. It just feels sort of, I don't know, standard, I guess.
That was the word I had in mind. Yeah, it feels standard.
Like out the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, it like I would say better than most. You know, if this is this guy's first swing at bat, it's definitely better than other writers that we've come across. Um, but it's not fantastic. Terrific.
So he was in the DC Comics Writers Workshop in 2016, and he wrote his first DC story in 2017. He's got a podcast. He's a writer of other things, so he's a pretty well known individual in his own right. Um,
So he knows how to write.
yeah,
That's good. Yeah. So like that, the dialogue I felt was smooth,
yeah.
just not terrific.
I'm a pass, not because the book is bad, but because I don't have a desire to see what comes next.
Yeah, I also am a pass. These year ones for me tend to be uh automatic passes unless they're uh someone I I like, or unless they're, off the wall good. What?
I'm surprised. I'm a pull. Pull on this one. We'll see where the story goes. You know, I'm willing to give him a first, second issue, third issue. Um, and the art was strong.
I believe it is a six-issue mini. I believe so. Um, man, Valentine Delandro is not around that much, huh? Very, very talented.
Yeah, he was on Bitch Planet. That was the big thing. I feel like there was something in between that and now.
Am I insane, or was it what? Maybe it wasn't Valentine that worked on the Spider-Man show, the animated.
No, that's
Oh, the new one.
Leonardo Romero.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Yep. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not sure where Valentine's been.
Silver Surfer Ghostlight
Ah,
might be the last thing
yes.
we saw him in.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
Man, that was a long time ago.
All right. So the poll results are in, and 44% of you said poll. That's a pretty good number. Didn't buy or read is 32%. Pass is 20%. Pick of the week is 2%. I like that 44% because I could see a lot of people not even picking this up. And so the fact that those of you who did liked it, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
So cool. Good stuff. Let's talk about Ultimate Spider-Man. Get away from the DC books for the rest of the show and talk Ultimate Spider-Man number 17. Of course, written by Jonathan Hickman. This does have happen to be a David Messina issue with letters by Corey Pettit and colors by Matt Wilson. Um, so this is the May issue, as every single issue is based around one individual month. This one features the month of May, and Harry is sort of making he's making the rounds. He lets Uncle Ben know that he's actually still in play and not, in fact, dead. Meanwhile, Gwen Stacy is still pulling strings behind the scenes, and we learn the identity of a couple of more Mysterios. Harry is talking to his dad again via the Green Goblin AI. And so there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of pieces being moved into place, which I think a lot of the times with this book we complain about these issues. We feel like there's not not enough movement. But I will say, I'll be out the gate and I will say, I actually enjoyed this issue quite a bit. It was close to being my pick of the week. This was the alternative issue for me. That could have been
Wow.
my pick of the week. Yeah.
Glad to see main series artist back on. Um, but um, this was it's one of those like talky issues, right? Where we're very much just focused, as you said, on setting things up. But I'm no longer interested. I think in some of this setup, like for this conflict of Harry has died, and then towards the end we have to surprise Peter about it. He's gonna come back and throw a fit about it, probably. And if anything, the tension between Fisk and Gwen is probably the biggest interest. But outside of that, I kind of don't care that Harry's back. He was the one kind of tugging Peter along for the adventures, but I want Peter to go out on his own adventures. I want him to be the person who is pushing himself along, not the other way around.
Yeah, I agree. I just like I'm reading a Spider-Man book, not a Green Goblin book. Um, also, I I also found it really frustrating that Gwen is supposed to be this cutthroat businesswoman. She doesn't actually say anything. Kingpin walks in and she goes, "Oh, it's you," and that's it. And Harry's like, "Wow, it's so unnerving to watch you work."
Say, wow, babe.
I don't know. I actually enjoyed the Messina art in this one. And I firmly believe that if this book were sold on, even if it were just Hickman's name and Messina was the artist, I think this would be great. I think we wouldn't have as much problem with the art as we do. Um, yeah, I just don't know. I want this to be done.
I appreciated the sequence where Harry is getting berated by his father, the AI version of his father. Because it's like he's like, even in death, you disappoint me. Like I'm tired of being ashamed of you. That's brutality.
And that's
Um,
AI too. Like,
yeah. Like you definitely didn't have to program the AI to go so hard, man.
Uh, that's exactly what I was thinking though. Is like you're doing this to yourself. You're the one that set up the program for this, right? Like he likes this at this point.
But that's what makes it so compelling. He wanted a version of his father so accurate and true to life that it would talk to him like this. And like, what does it say about you and your relationship with your dad that this is the only version of your dad you could believe was true? The one that doesn't believe in you.
What does this say about him?
That's exactly what I said. What does it say about you that this is the version of your dad that you want?
Oh.
I think that is meaty. And I think that that is an interesting wrinkle that I'm very much looking forward to seeing um, examined in the future with this book. No Peter is tough though. No Peter. Except, I mean, at the very, very end. But
One page. I think it's the only page.
yeah.
and we probably won't get a follow up to that reveal.
Yep, that's true. He's gonna be in the. He'll be like, "Oh, it's been great being back in the city for the past 3 weeks."
Yep. So good to see you, Harry.
Yeah, that's right. Again, dinner last night was fun.
The other issue I had was that how do you get how do you apply to become a Mysterio? Because I would actually love to be one. If fucking Robertson can be one, Robbie Robertson can be one, and fucking Kingpin's Gopher can be one, then why couldn't I be one?
The
Yep.
the Robinson one that was a surprise for all of us, right?
Certainly, yeah.
Okay,
Unless I miss something.
okay. Because when they suddenly start talking, I'm like, wait a second, hold on, like, freaking everybody's coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
I think that that was a misstep because it took away from the mysterious, for lack of a better term.
Takes a mystery out of Mysterio.
Yeah, like they shouldn't be people that, in my opinion, they shouldn't be people that we've been consistently interacting with. It makes it feel very small. I want there to be Mysterios that are just whoever. Like,
Or at least people that, like, we're not going to meet in the next 20 minutes. Like, we met two in the space of 3 panels.
Yeah,
yeah,
Like,
just too fast. And I don't like that kind of microwave stuff. Like, let it play out, like maybe knowing that, like maybe seeing Kingpin's lackey revealed as a Mysterio later could have been used as a cool twist to get them out of a jam or something like that. But you just blew it right now, so when that time inevitably comes, we already know.
yep.
yeah, hundred
Same with
percent.
Robertson. Like, oh, Uncle Ben and J. Jonah Jameson are about to get the absolute shit kicked out of them by the Kingpin. He's gonna slam the door on their heads. What are we gonna spy? Peter's, who knows where he is? Well, he's not gonna make it in time. Who shows up? Boom! It's Robbie Robertson as Mysterio.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if this isn't like Gwen and the Mysterios are. I mean, obviously they're infiltrating, and so is that expectation that they will now like take over? Is it going to be like a war that comes from this? But then we get stuck in the how much time we're going to dedicate to that and how much of that's going to happen in the background.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
suddenly, oh, Gwen's in power. Flashback to last week because that's how the story is being told. So like, it has its compelling moment here in that there's these machinations happening, but I'm not going to be able to see it.
And I mean that is and remains the most frustrating aspect of this book. And I'm trying in my reviewing of each issue now, what I would like to do is just treat the issue as the issue unto itself and not worry so much about all that other stuff. And I found myself enjoying this quite a bit, but there are those other factors, and they're not avoidable at this point. So we do have to take the good with the bad. I'm still on the hook. I wish I wasn't, in the sense that, like, I wish I could just say, you know what, I don't care. But the fact is that I kind of do care. And so this is a good issue, and I just have to write it like that. Like, hopefully the next one delivers an enjoyable experience unto itself.
Nah, pass, dude. I'm gonna stick to Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I'm having
yeah,
I'm having some kick-ass fun there.
yeah.
Fair
The
enough.
hallucinations are better.
Genuinely.
Like, yeah, pass for me. Pass, drop. I don't know what other comic book terms I could say that reflect my feelings accurately about this book.
I am a pull on this issue. I don't know how the hell I'm going to feel about the next one. It's very inconsistent in that way. But for this particular issue, I'm in.
Who's on the art for next one? I forgot to look.
It's a good question. I
Main series
will.
artist David Messina.
Oh, there you
Okay,
go.
there we go.
There you go. So that means another issue, though, where we're probably not going to get a lot of forward momentum, which has sort of
Well,
been the trend.
as the kids put it, we're not gonna get any aura farming
Oh,
for sure.
actually, sorry, I take that back. I just re-pulled that back up. Supposedly it's Marco Cicchetto.
Okay.
So it's gonna be full of aura farming.
Yeah, it's good. All the things are happening, and it looks like he's swinging with his son. So
Luna, a member of the channel for 7 months. Thank you so much, Luna. Says,
Whoa.
sad I lost all interest in this line minus Ultimate X-Men.
damn.
I mean, I get it. There are
Wow.
people who want the Ultimate books to be as different as they possibly can. And if that's how you feel, then Ultimate X-Men is the only one that would be for you.
Ultimate X-Men really is coming out as like the absolute Martian Manhunter for for the Ultimate line. People love that book. And it's something wildly different.
It is divisive, though. It is
Oh,
divisive.
I yeah, I bet.
Appreciate Hayden's Hideout doing the math on this poll for Ultimate Spider-Man. 53% pull, 25% didn't buy read, pass 18, and pick of the week 2%. Damn.
Cool. Cool.
Oh, Cole says Chichetto's on the next 3 issues.
Oh hell yeah! Half an arc.
Wow. If only
Oh,
it could have
yeah.
saved me.
Um, Clayton says, I'm excited for the Friendly Neighborhood 6. It seems like they're setting up.
Oh, that's the team name.
Yeah. Cole says, I'm probably in the minority, but I enjoy the ensemble cast. I don't really need Peter or Spider action in every issue. That's fine, right? Like that's okay. It's just that the narrative about the book, and one of the major criticisms has been that it is a Spider-Man-less book and often a Peter Parker-less book. So every time that that happens, it's going to annoy the people who are annoyed by that. And I consider myself among them because of the lack of Peter. If we mostly were focused on Peter's comings and goings and opinions and he was the driver, then that wouldn't bother me. But because he's not, it's kind of like, what is this?
I'd love to get 1 issue of Spider-Man action. I think that would be great.
Yeah. Oh man, Ultimate Spider-Man. And I know there are people to whom this is the best comic. Like this is the best book on the stands.
Wild.
Looks like a lot of people in chat are saying Ultimate X-Men. They have continued the line for. I gotta catch up on that.
CW Gordon. We have two Spider-Man and barely any Spider-Man.
Very true. Very, very true.
Hayden's Hideout says the ultimate books are in the trade waiting list for me. The month-to-month format doesn't work for me. Plus economic reasons. Feel that.
All right, let's move over to Giant Size X-Men #1. Oh man. This is written by DNA. Uh, well, no, they're not DNA, excuse me. They're the Hive Mind. Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing, with art by Adam Hubert, letters by Clayton Cowles, Federico Blee on the colors, Laura Martin also on the colors for the second story, which is written by Al Ewing with art by Sarah Pacelli. So pretty strong creative team. The first story, which is kind of the kickoff to this whole Miss Marvel romp through the past of the X-Men, is it's kicked off with it's a Legion story. It takes place many years in the future where Legion is all
Mm.
that's left, but it's not quite David. It's an amalgamation of we don't exactly know who, or at least I don't think we know who yet. So that's kind of interesting. It is a core Miss Marvel story in the sense that the narrative is focused on her from an emotional standpoint and an action standpoint, but she ends up in the past. Whenever the initial team of X-Men are presumed dead and they go to Krakoa, and that's where we get introduced to Wolverine and Storm and Banshee and everybody else. And Miss Marvel is there with them. And this version of Cyclops remembers her because he's the version of Cyclops that went forward in time when Beast brought the mutants forward and he was on the champions and everything like that. So he knows Miss Marvel and they've got a relationship. And she is integral in helping to beat back this Legion for the time being. And the tease at the end, of course, is the next giant size issue is going to deal with the Phoenix, the Dark Phoenix, and Miss Marvel's involvement in that. Marco, did any of this add up to you as good?
I it was at the very least fun to go back and see the giant size X-Men, like see them kind of play out and interact. What you said about Cyclops lost me. I was trying to figure out how they could possibly know each other. So I'm gonna slap on the label timey wimey bullshit. And outside of that, I mean, this feels unnecessary. Like we're trying to stop Legion. Okay, I can get behind that, but for her to come for Miss Marvel to go back in time and participate in these events where she's kind of like it feels like she's bearing witness, and that wasn't compelling for me. I would want her to be a more key figure in combating Legion, but relevant to the moment. Like it doesn't have to go. We don't have to go through all these big like the big hits, and have her persist there. So, I mean, this was all right. I'm sure it could be fun, but I found myself kind of like glazing over as I was reading this.
Yeah, I really enjoyed like the dialogue. Like I felt like the writing in this was good for what it is. Like I feel like Lansing and Kelly, they have a good voice that just works on whatever they're working on. But yeah, this is exactly what everyone was what we were afraid it was going to be. It's just it's Kamala Khan showing up on the hits, and that's the book. I actually really enjoyed the Kamala Cyclops thing. I think that's just a cute little uh addition to canon that I don't know. It's it's dumb, but I like it. I enjoyed the art in this. I think this take on Legion is weird. He looks very interesting. And when when he takes off his cloak or whatever at the beginning, and then on the the page where where he reveals himself and the X-Men are falling out of the sky or whatever, it's just a really interesting look for him. But yeah, uh, this is nothing.
Yeah, I'm torn because I actually had a good time reading this for the most part. There were bits and pieces that I liked. Like I always love seeing Kamala interacting with her friend, the like will they won't they friend that she has. He's been around since the first issue of like
Oh, Bruno.
since yeah, Bruno.
Right.
Since her debut, he's been around. So like I enjoy him and seeing them interact. And I'm with Cale in the sense that like I don't have a problem with Kamala's relationship with this version of Cyclops because, like, does it make sense? Nah. But it does from a Marvel sense, like sure. And it's inconsequential. So that's okay. I think my problem was that, first of all, I don't really care to see the Krakoa stuff, and I'm talking about the old Krakoa stuff. That what this is referencing. I don't care to see that rehashed. Um, and I wasn't sure if this was just nostalgia farming and baiting older fans with these locales. There's no real reason for that to happen. Like, it's just kind of whatever. Also, Adam Kubert, it's great to see him. Man, is he super talented. I love his work. He's one of the best in the biz still to this day. And I like a lot of what he did here. But having to turn the freaking book like three different times to read it on its side like this was so annoying.
Yeah.
Just unnecessary. It's kind of a weird complaint, I guess. But by the third time I had to do that, I was like, dude, it's not a cool gimmick anymore. Like you're doing it just to do it.
This is work now.
Legit.
Like, look, I don't need that many posters.
Word.
When she mentioned Krakoa, like I was fully aware of, okay, we're back in like the 70s, and this is what this is the OG giant sized X-Men. But then she said Krakoa, and I was like, wait, what? How does this? I was doing some crazy math to figure that out. Like, how are you in the future, but you're in the past? And then it's like, oh, right. The island itself was called Krakoa. It is a thing, and she speaks to it. I did like the speaking to it part. Like, there was consequence of the future that came into play there, which I thought was interesting. Like, it was a cheeky wink towards what will become, something that will happen. But also, we're trying to forget that. So,
But we're not at the same time. Don't
right,
forget.
right. Say,
I was a little thrown off, and maybe there's a Krakoa historian that can smarten me up, but I don't remember Miss Marvel knowing the language.
she says Cipher taught it to everybody, but she never participated. She wasn't a mutant, so she wouldn't have, presumably she wouldn't have learned it. I don't know how she, some Duolingo shit.
I mean, she was a part of the X crew during the fall of X, but they weren't on Krakoa. And
Yeah.
I don't need to see Cypher and her
Uh,
interact to assume that they might have, but I don't remember.
when she died and came back, I think
Oh,
you can
yes.
probably,
Yes.
because it was like she died and came back, and then they had that Hellfire Gala where everything went to shit.
Yeah, totally.
So I think there was probably enough time.
Oh, CW Gordon
Yeah.
says it's downloaded into them on Resurrection, right? That
Yeah.
that there
There
you
you
One,
go.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
You guys are right. Okay, fair enough. Not a valid criticism of the book. I just couldn't remember. Um, yeah, this was fine. I didn't like dislike it. I didn't have a bad time reading this. I just don't know why I read it. Like I don't know what the point is. And at 4.99, there needs to be a fucking point. There has to be.
Paying what?
Especially because as a character, Miss Marvel works great alone. Like her supporting cast, her family, Bruno, everybody, like that's all great. You don't need her doing all this other extra weird bullshit with mutants. Like she can be a mutant but still have her own identity, and we don't need to see her interacting with these historical pieces. It's not relevant.
That's
Like what could this possibly be setting up that's going to be so game changing for Kamala and I mean even for the X-Men. She's barely an X-Man.
well, I don't think it is setting. That's not true. It surely it will, but I think to the point that you made there, Sean, she can stand alone. She should stand alone. She should now stand alone as, oh, Kamala Khan, the mutant, and what does that mean for her in her life? Not what does that mean for the things that matter to X Men fans.
Yes. And you can do both. She can be on a mutant team and have a solo series. I don't like center her. This is my thing. Center her in the current ongoing mutant drama. Don't retroactively try to involve her. And like it's not as annoying as we thought it might be, where like now historically she was always there. It's not quite that annoying, but this just feels unnecessary. Someone was asking, I think it was Steve Canaris was asking on the Discord, like, what book should I read to understand where the next phase of mutant stories is being told? Is it this? And my answer was Hellfire Gala Vigil.
Mm,
I'm disappointed that not only was I right, but like this has nothing to do with anything current.
yeah,
In fact, it's got to do with stuff that's decades old.
it's
Yeah.
nostalgia. It's just some nostalgia bait. Some nostalgia bait with the world of mutants' newest X Man.
But see, I don't think that's nostalgia bait because the nostalgia people aren't going to go for Kamala Khan. I think this is retcon bullshit.
But they're not even retconning it. Like this didn't happen. Like, this is just like, you know,
Well, I think the retcon, like technically will be Miss Marvel gave Krakoa the idea to go into space or whatever the fuck.
mm,
Like it'll be that small so that they can get away with her
who's
not
there?
being, yeah.
Sure.
Um, let's talk quickly about the second story, which is Al Ewing and Sarah Pacelli introducing a brand new mutant, whose name is, I believe, Justina.
Justina LaGuardia. If I've ever heard
Yes.
a spirit femme fatale name ass shit.
So basically, she meets Professor Xavier. He tells her, "Hey, you should join me," and she's like, "Nah, actually, I'm more powerful than you. My power is to be." Her power literally is to be superior to whoever is around her. And I suspect superior is going to be her like mutant code name. And that's it. Like she's just superior. And Professor X's powers are no match for her. And she lets him know that she's going to work on her powers and hone them, and she'll be a pain in the ass in the future. Great.
Yeah,
Cool.
cute.
I'm certainly glad that was a backup.
It really moved me. Uh,
I
uh,
fine.
yeah, yeah. Genuinely, I couldn't stop thinking of like potential outros for the spirit. Like Justina, you always come in and out of my life. Like just, I swear to you,
I
that's all I thought about.
I always have a superior time with Justina.
Yeah.
Uh, I want to say pull. I literally looked down at that price and I was like, I can't in good faith recommend a 4.99 comic that like I didn't love and it wasn't very consequential. Like if you just want a solid Kamala Khan story and that's the only thing you care about, sure. If you're looking for the next part of the big mutant drama, this is far from that. Look to Hellfire Gala Vigil. I am going to say pass because I do not give a flying fuck about this or what's going to happen in any of the subsequent pieces of this story. But I will read them all anyway.
Mark.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, pass. You don't need this.
Yeah, same pass.
Let's see what you lovely people listening at home have to say. Well, wow. 51% of you didn't buy or read, so you didn't even bother with this one. Those of you who did largely said you don't give a damn because 25% of you passed. Poll 17%, and someone, at least one person, said it was their pick of the week. So there you go.
I would love to hear from you. What did you like about this? Why did you like it? Was it the Sarah Pacelli uh, art in the back? Because I keep looking at this at Justina, the back. And you know what? I'm into it.
Poll for that.
Oh, I'll be pulling. I mean,
Oh my.
I like this salute from MD Johnny. Says, I could only imagine we said, don't buy it. That salute is saying, I did it.
Sean Ali said I clicked pick of the week by mistake. There you go. Done.
Mystery solved. I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, hold on.
Word.
Who genuinely read this book and said this is the best of the week?
Like,
This
damn.
week?
Maybe we missed something.
Holy shit. Thank you, Sean Ali, for clearing that up.
For the
Being
honesty.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
C.W. Gordon said the best part of this book was the ad for a Days of Future Past prequel by Claremont. He really just does it for the love of the game, huh? You want to talk about nostalgia bait, dude.
Yeah. That's nostalgia bait.
Is anyone completely opposed to Claremont playing in the modern sandbox?
Yes. Well, completely. I I wouldn't want to read it.
Ooh, I'm in the exact other side, man. I want to read
Now-
it. I'm so excited for him to be
Now,
participating.
cast your mind back to the end of whatever Krakoa era, whatever that last issue was, where he did the drama between I'm 85% certain this was him. He did the drama between Nightcrawler, Mystique, Destiny, and Rogue. Cast your mind back to that.
Oh,
Remember that.
Right.
And then tell me you want to read an entire modern book done by him. I would love to see maybe he does the plot and then sort of shepherds a new writer in. I think that would rule. Surely that old guy still got gas in the tank for like a plot.
didn't I like that issue?
There's no way you did.
I
And
don't.
I'm not even talking about the whole issue.
Just that part. Like that picnic, right?
Yeah, it was some kind of picnic sequence or some
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah.
Man, I have a morbid fascination with seeing things that could go disastrously play out, like 5G. Dan Didio's plans for that. So in a way, I want to at least know what Chris Claremont would want to do with the modern era. But the biggest reason why I'm a no is because I don't think he could just play in the band. I think that, his stature and his, the quality of storytelling that he's done with the X-Men over the years, he would probably want to drive the ship. And that can't happen. Could he do a story in the space? Sure. But could he drive the ship? Definitely not. Oh, Gabriel with the take. It must be terrible to see Marvel destroy the characters you worked on for so long, and now the titles are zombies.
Woof.
To see
There might be something to that.
the characters more than anything else. The characters you built that it had highs, had lows. Now they're out searching for what is it, Professor X and Grey Malkin and shit.
Yeah, well, we'll never find out what Chris Claremont would do, but could we find out his thoughts about the current era? Yeah, because that boy, that man, excuse me, loves to chat it up. So, you
You
know,
talk about X-Men?
yeah, oh yeah,
Sure, he
oh
talks
yeah.
about whatever. Got to get him on the show.
What CW said is essentially what I'm saying. Unless Claremont is head of X and on it long term, there doesn't feel like much of a point. He is an architect. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, surely he's got gas in the tank to help build something. Get someone else with a little bit, a little bit more of a modern sensibility for scripting and, the other interiors. Make him an editor.
totally. Now I do want to say BJ Kicks was here a little bit earlier and completely forgot to mention that I was a guest on his podcast. It's up on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts, I have to imagine. So if you want to check out my very first interview and first time on his channel, which was an honor for me, that is available. I had a lot of fun talking to BJ. I always do. Love that guy.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, it's a good time. Very good time. Um, also, just before we get into the stack, because we're done with the reviews, just before we get into the stack, I want to say that Sal from Comic Pop recently came under fire from some troll on social media who was basically making the point that Sal is a hater. And what I want to say to that is um, fuck off. Actually, that's what that I was searching for, like, what do I truly feel about it? And that's what I truly feel about it. Sal is a guy who shows up every single week to tell the truth about what he thinks about comics. I do not always agree with what Sal says. It'd be weird if I did, because everybody's not supposed to agree with everybody all the time. But the fact is that he's genuine. And he never says, this is garbage. You should never buy this. He doesn't, I don't feel like he dissuades people from a purchase. He says, this wasn't for me. I think it sucked. And that's it. And I think that's a valid thing to say. I come on here and say the same thing every single week. We all do. It's about telling the truth. Do you want a channel where people are only ever saying positive things? I've seen those channels. I despise that because I know that's not authentic. There's no way you love everything. There's also no way you hate everything. So I just wanted to stick up for Sal, because not that he needs it. I'm sure he doesn't give a damn about what's the discourse. But you know, there are a lot of people out there who will say shit like that, and it's like, dude, you're not in the seat. You're not in the position to have to come on here and be live and tell the truth about what your opinion is about comics. And I think that some of you guys need to chill the fuck out and accept that other people have different opinions than you.
Get your own head out of your ass.
Yeah,
Taking down the haters.
that's what it boils down to. And it's like, for what, your 3 seconds of fame to go at Sal to get people's attention. Like, who cares, dude?
Copy and paste the retweet.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't agree with his takes.
Sal's making money. Sal's eating good. Sal's got a huge community. That man is chilling. He ain't worried about you. I'm just saying that I think everybody needs to take a second look at themselves before they send that tweet that's negative about a person. I think it's fucked up to do, and it's fruitless. Talk about someone you like instead.
Speaking about someone who likes things. Clayton Bergstrom says, listen to the pod on Spotify every week. Driving up to the comic shop. Really enjoy the content you guys make and glad I can catch it live today. Welcome, bud.
Hell yeah. Good to see you, man. Thank you for showing up.
Nice, dude.
Hayden's Hideout says Sal is one of the reasons I got into comic book YouTube. I don't agree with all their points, but they're entitled to their opinion. Sal can't be bought off by the publishers. Look, dude, Gabriel, I hate to tell you this, man. The publishers ain't buying anybody off. Anybody who is blanketly positive or blanketly negative isn't doing it because they've been bought and paid for, because these publishers do not care to buy and pay. That person has an ulterior motive one way or the other. That doesn't reflect what the publishers are pushing out.
Yeah, yeah. DC, Marvel, if you're listening, send some cash his way.
Please.
We will absolutely shill for you.
Yeah, yeah. This giant size X-Men, phenomenal. I thought, almost pick of the week.
Best comic I've ever been paid to review.
Yeah, like as long as we can be respectful towards each other, any discourse is fine. Like we can talk about books we don't like, and it doesn't have to become a bash fest. I have opinions about Tom King's Wonder Woman. I don't like it. That has nothing to do with the guy. Nothing at all. Just gotta chill out. All right, let's get those stack numbers in here, so we can determine who wins this week. We didn't have my stack last week. We had Marco's stack. Marco, is it safe to assume you didn't make a trip to the LCS this week, my friend?
I did not. I got wrapped up in work meetings. I couldn't skip out during lunch. Had to read in digital this week.
Oh, sorry.
Different times. Yo, Mr. Futterver's going hard right now. Maybe one day, bud.
100 for the stack? Who do you think I am, Atomic Hound?
Yeah.
No way in hell. I gotta say, my trip to the LCS this week was therapeutic. Therapeutic. It's a wonderful place. Now, nothing
Your
good
LCS?
happened. Yeah, nothing good happened there.
It's a wonderful place.
Hell yeah, dude! You walk in and there's comics everywhere. It's a beautiful thing.
Go on. What happened?
Nothing good happened at my LCS this week because nothing good ever happens at my LCS. In fact, the only thing I found out was that the price of their bags and boards went up yet again, which is fucked up. Let me tell you why that's fucked up. We all know about the tariff situation, right? And anything coming from overseas is supposed to be getting more expensive, although some of that's been paused. Who knows what all the realities are with that, right? But the most fucked up part of what I just told you is that very boldly on the bag and board packaging, it says, made in the USA. Why is the price going up when there's tariffs and everything else, when this shit was printed right here? Come on now. It's like they just snuck it in.
Sean, you pay for those?
Yeah, well, what do you do?
My guy says, hey, you guys get if you buy floppies, you get them all for free. You get a board and bag for each one. I'll walk out of there. Sean, I have leftovers here, dude. Look at this. They're just blank. They're just sitting around. I have so many.
Send those my way along with my Comics Pal shirt.
It'll be in the mail. It's going to Texas.
Wow.
You know what? I'll take it.
Every week.
That's insane.
When I go.
Look, dude, they charge, what is it? Is it 89 cents? It's 89 cents if you want a bag and board, unless you have a pull list. In that case, it's free. But if you have a pull list, you can't get your books till Thursday.
That's crazy, dude. Roboters. Marco just finds his stuff off the back of a truck. Yo, don't diss my shop, bro.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Comes in on time.
Comes in on time. Free bags and boards. He would give me extra if he had it, and he does. So he does.
Wow, dude, that's beautiful. I wish I could have that experience.
You
Uh,
can. You very well can. Couple more
Dan,
stops.
yeah, I can't, bro. I can't. I've been going to Midtown for 20 years.
Hey man, change is hard. I get it. I get it. Diamond's not in business anymore. I get it. But sometimes the LCS, sometimes you got to change it up. Free bags and board, Sean. You could buy. That means you could buy 20 issues at Hydra Comics, 89 cents per. You said.
Hmm.
I don't know what the math is for that, but that's at least an extra 5 to 6 comics.
Yeah, I bet. That's why I don't buy the bags and boards like that. I buy them in, stacks of 100. But that shit's pricey now,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Andrew Cab wants to know what the numbers are in the chat. So the numbers in the chat, my friend, represent people's guesses for Sean's stack, which is the way we close this show out. It's a guessing game. I buy a lot of comics every single week, and it's up to you guys to determine how many I bought this week. Whoever gets it right or is closest without going over can win the code for any of the Marvel books I bought this week, which doesn't look like a lot, or no prize, which we are very happy to dish out. And Dan, I run into the I'm not a violent guy every single week. He is diligently at my store all day. Every single time I go to my LCS, he is there.
Committing violence.
Non-violently. All right. Let's close things up and Cale, rattle off those numbers for us, please.
All right. Thank you so much for submitting these numbers. Marowak Escuro popping us off with 16. We've got Hayden's Hideout. His Gooner pick this week is 17. Luna says 18. Rami Darwish says 17. James Jones coming in too late to be the perennial winner. He says 18 for the stack. CW Gordon says 17. Sean Ali says 15. Izzy says 11 for the stack. Lucas Holner says 20. Head H says 28. MD Johnny says 16. Dan says 16. Roboter says 15. Entertain Me says 16. Aaron Ruiz says 13. Jay Quirk says 20. And I think that's all of them.
All right.
I like that little jump that you did there, Cale.
Wait, it's in all caps.
I respect it.
You got to put the emphasis on it.
Thank you guys for playing. Let's get into it. Green Lantern number 23. Book has been Flames. Superman 26.
I can't wait to read that one.
Yeah, me too. Uncanny X-Men number 15. Assorted Crisis Events number 3. I have not gotten to it yet, but I will be. I'm very excited. Justice League Unlimited number 7. This was really good. This didn't have Dan Mora on art. It was Travis Moore instead. It still looks really good. I'm enjoying We Are Yesterday. It's been solid. Department of Truth number 30. Wouldn't possibly leave my LCS without that. G.I. Joe number 7. Hyde Street number 6. The Power Fantasy 9.
Oh, I gotta catch up on that.
Yeah. Void Rivals number 19. We're Taking Everyone Down with Us number 3. The Goddamn Tragedy number 1, which I only learned about on Pal's previews this week.
That's Sean Kurineru?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Yo, my boy.
Wait, is that guy that we ran into at
Yes,
Comic-Con?
dude. Yeah.
Wow.
At Comic-Con, and then at what is it? What's his place? Demetrios' place?
Anyone Comics?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. He's been working with Jeff Lemire on Minor Arcana.
Yeah. Cool. And then Daredevil Cold Day in Hell number 2, which was also really excellent. And I'm so sad that there's only one issue to go.
Oh wow.
Oh, that sucks.
Yep.
This was so good.
Hell yeah. I love the process pages in the back that they give you too.
Yeah.
That's it.
I got 19.
I got that as well, yeah.
Yep,
Nice.
same here.
Who got 19? Did anybody get it?
Add that to the list.
Well,
Nope.
the Woody put 19 in just now. So I don't know if
Oh no, he got it in pretty early. We just
oh.
started, but he got it in. Depends on whether we want to call it in time.
Oh yeah, I would say so. If he threw it out there, I would say it's valid.
Okay, Woody got it
Hell yeah, dude. Congrats to
at the
Woody.
last minute.
Let me know if you want any of these codes. Otherwise, enjoy your no prize, my friend. Um, yeah, that's a big week indeed, Izzy. I have regrets, but I really don't because the truth is that like I look at this stack and I'm excited for every book.
And also, maybe a little toxic, but not that bad. Like last week, I got 13, and I felt it. It was sizable in my hand. I said that wasn't that bad.
Bro, look at this.
Damn, dude.
Are
Not that
you
bad.
are you comfortable dropping that total?
You know what? It's tough because the total is influenced by the bags and boards I had to buy. And so they inflated it a lot. This would have been a very regular week for me if it wasn't for that. Though like that alone was like $25.
Well, oh,
No,
because
no, no, no.
you got
Excuse
the,
me, excuse me. Like 18.
but that's because you got the like the 100.
100 pack.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
So minus that, it was probably like 90.
Oh,
Yeah.
I I can't imagine. My wife would kill me. I'm talking about
It's
buying one extra book next week, aside from New Gods. New Gods isn't coming out. Just of my monthly pulls, I'm getting one extra book, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna break that to her. Ugh.
Uh,
oh man.
Mr. Funiverse says you'll get to 100 one day, Sean. Trust. I
Mm-mm.
just looked at the Pals Pulls list. You had bought 100 comics already this year by week 7,
Sure.
That's later than I would have expected.
February 13th.
That's not too
Oh,
bad.
it's okay.
Um, Dan says it's hard to come back when creators insist on producing so many good books. That's the problem. Like before, I was buying shit that I didn't care about and didn't even really want to read. Now I'm buying stuff and it's like, wow, all this is really great. And like now I have to make hard choices about the cuts. Hayden's Hall, 3 books. You can't play a game when you only buy 3 books, Hayden. 3 books. What were they?
Gooner picks.
Yeah.
Wait, did I miss Monstrous this week?
Did that come
Oh,
out?
bro.
I don't know. I didn't see it. Come on. No, no, it did not. Come on. Mm-mm.
No, I don't think so.
No, it did not come out.
CW Gordon, I will be actually giving a count on the half year mark.
Sorry, Margot. CW Gordon says, no. It didn't come out. I'm just saying buy books you love and also monstrous.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Finish up, Marco.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a half year count. So that's gonna be the last pals pulls uh of this month, or sorry, actually of next month, June. We'll do a half year count. We'll see how far you've made it, what the total number of books are gonna be, and maybe we'll do some checking on some stats.
Marco, do we have to do a pick of the month?
We do.
Oh, we do.
Absolutely.
Hold on. Let me
Find that list. Where is that list?
hold on. Well, give me a second. I gotta do some thingies.
I know mine. Um, Mine is Ultimates number 12 from last week.
I don't know what we've read this month. So
Mine is going to be. Oh,
Marco, Marco, do you have the list? Can I see it somewhere?
Yeah, yeah, sorry. Let me send it. Mine might be Battle Beast actually. Hold on, just sending it over to you, Cale.
Oh, that was fun. That was
That was
fun.
good. That was real good. Andrew
Ooh,
Cab says, Trade Waiter here. Love the discussion though. Hey, dude, that's cool, man. And like, hopefully you will hear enough to be like, oh, I should check that out when it comes out, but then forget
mm.
what we said, so we're not spoiling it for you.
That's I used to do that with the long box. I would keep track of what's happening through the reviews, and then I would continue based off that, and really enjoyed doing it that way.
Yeah, that's totally valid. Wow, 3620 says late to the live. Got the good stack of books this week. Also got on loan Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees trade from the library. Nice.
Ooh, yeah, that's cool.
Library, a
I
valuable resource.
underrated resource. You know what? I'm gonna say, I think Blood and Thunder was on here as my pick of the week for 1 week.
Yeah, it was.
I really enjoyed that. I think I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, that was really good. That was actually excellent. Man, this was such a good May was a month. May
Yeah,
the big two and the indies all put out some bangers. I'm looking through all of May right now, and wow, we ate good in May.
yeah.
Real strong.
Hell yeah. They better come correct for June. That's what I know. I want some fire in June. And I mean, there's some good stuff coming out. Like next week is Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, so like that event is kicking off. I'm looking forward to that.
Incursion, baby.
Hell yeah.
Who's doing that?
That is going to be Morgan Hampton. I believe Dennis Camp is also involved. I'm going to look now. Yeah, no, it's not Morgan Hampton. Excuse me. It's Cody Ziegler. And then Jonas Scharf is on art.
Okay, 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 okay.
Very, very exciting creative team to me. All right, guys. We're going to get out of here. We will not be gone too long though, because there's only one sleep until the next time we will be live with you. So you don't have to wait long. Uh, this Saturday at 10:15 a.m., we are going to be live for episode 450. We're going to be talking about the Marvel DC crossover announcement and what that's going to bring. We're going to give our full thoughts about that. And then we're also going to do something kind of fun for our 450. So definitely want you guys to tune in for that. Hit the like button on your way out. We had over 100 people here at some point. So I definitely think we can do better than what we've done. So hit the like button on your way out. Remember Saturday, 10:15 a.m. Eastern. Looking forward to it. Take care, guys.
See you next.